Hello and welcome back, everybody, for another special energy update here from QPW. Get ready to take flight as the Eagle ascends. My name is Davyd.
And I'm Bella. Welcome back.
All right, guys. So we do these energy updates when we feel the call to do them. It's been a very powerful, quite energetically challenging in some ways last few weeks with lots of ups and downs, judging from our own experiences and from many of the people in our tribe and those that follow us here on YouTube. So we always appreciate the feedback, everybody. It's a good way of us being able to take a much broader pulse on what is going on, whilst at the same time going through a lot of the same things ourselves. That is partly why we put the quantum compass out every 2 weeks to give coordinates to that. And the next episode of that will be coming out with the Blue Eagle wavespell preview, probably tomorrow. But in the meantime, Bella, we have some things that we want to share about how we got to this place, what's been going on, and what we've been called to offer everybody at this point as the Eagle is about to take off to 5D.
So let's remember that the Tzolkin, which is a cycle of 260 days, is a journey where there are 20 different wave spells or 20 different containers where you can do many things. So we just came out of the wave spell of the red moon, which helped us purify and helped us remember who we truly are, what we're doing here at this moment. Currently, we're finishing the wave spell of the wind, which is our communication to spirit and the moment to communicate what we really want. And at this moment, we're about to jump into yet another journey, is the wave spell number 19th of this cycle. So we're coming almost to the end. And this blue wave spell is telling us, Blue Eagle wave spell is telling us, are you ready to create your own vision? Are you ready to go 5D? Are you ready to reconnect to the planetary grid, which is, by the way, already active, but it requires each one of us to have the intention to connect to it and to receive those codes. So it is a very important wave spell before we finish to the final one with the yellow star. So the invitation on this very short video is to join us in a journey/workshop with the Blue Eagle wave spell, and then to do it all together to close this Tzolkin, this cycle of 260 days together. And what an important Tzolkin it has been, because during this Tzolkin, we've had the convergence of timelines on the 14th, 15th of October. We've had amazing astrology, and most of it to do with the comets, with 3i Atlas. And as we complete this journey of 260 days, then Atlas gets really close to the Earth. Around 19th of December or whereabouts. So we're preparing for that moment.
So, with all of that in mind, we've been called to put something together that allows everybody, no matter whether you've done many immersions or journeys with us, or maybe have wanted to do one for a while and just followed us here on YouTube, but are feeling a bit like, these guys seem further ahead than me. I haven't done all of these courses and immersions. Well, this is an amazing opportunity that comes around every 260 days with this special glyph of the Eagle, which is very, very 5D, to be able to take off for 13 days and enter more of a 5D space. And at the same time, we have so much support coming from Solano, the sun, who keeps pumping out various solar flares and solar storms. And as Bella said, we've also got this symphony going on in our solar system. Really, for the first time in our lives, we have interstellar, we could say, contact of some description, and maybe some of us are having a bit more communication with the interstellar objects than others. But at the same time, this is a pivotal, life-changing experience because we're receiving messages from outside of this part of the universe, something that I don't think we've really experienced consciously before, and certainly beyond the planetary space of Mother Earth. So with the Eagle, we have an opportunity here to really take off and work out how to run our life as an ongoing kind of story or narrative. So with all of these various impulses and inputs that are coming into our individual and collective awareness, we've been guided to put together this special journey called the Eagle Ascends. And really what this is, an opportunity for us to invite all of you into how to create a 13-day immersion for yourself using the various layers, coordinates, and indeed internal quantum technology that we've been transmitting and sharing and teaching here on QPW, and prior to that with QPH as well, because this is the moment where it all really starts to count. one of the things that we've been observing over the last few weeks really is how the logos lower mind or monkey mind is at work, seemingly at all times. And this is becoming more and more apparent to many of us as we investigate the nature of the lower mind and its connection to the, we can say, false grid or the matrix from the position of our divine original mind. Once we start to engage in that meditation more actively, and I'm sure many of you out there are also long-term Buddhist students and maybe have done this meditation many times, but as we get to the point where the grid, the old grid has collapsed, the matrix is in free fall, the systems are collapsing, well, micro and macro, that would suggest that the same is probably going on internally for a lot of the collective. That's because of the false Babylonian tower that is built with a logos mind. It's not built with divine intuition. It's built with the thoughts of kind of a quasi AI mind that we can say, which is somewhat synonymous with how our own lower mind works. This, unfortunately, is prone to a little bit of faulty programming here and there and can cut across the intuitions, we can say, of our divine mind and our divine destiny. This is the opportunity, therefore, with the eagle to rise above the 3D, 4D and observe everything that's going on for ourselves. Are we still getting polarized? Are we still in some sort of duality? Are we able to be in duality but observe it from a non-dual perspective, otherwise known as the eagle's perch?
So the process of ascension has already started. Many people are already tapping into the new Earth frequency, which is a 5D frequency, and it all has to do with raising your level of consciousness. And many of you have asked us, so how do we do this? How can I get a practice? How do I immerse myself into this? And this is the key of everything we're putting together in this specific workshop, is so that you can follow any wave spell at any point and do any processes you need to do for yourself, learning to hold space, learning to work with your mind, freeing your mind of many beliefs and many obstacles that don't allow you to go 5D or multidimensional. To go into a vision quest for 13 days so you can actually be clear about what you're going to do moving forward. Now that we've transitioned from the time of destruction to the time of creation, we are starting to build up the new earth. And in order to do that, your mind needs to be realigned and recalibrated with the new frequency.
Exactly, to all of that. So we work a lot with layers and coordinate points, as I'm sure many of you will know, through the quantum compass and through the immersions and journeys that we've done, working with the Mayan 1320 dream spell calendar, working now with the 13 sign sidereal astrology, as always working with trees and plants, but also working with aspects of geomancy, working with our internal elemental structure, and quite a few other bits and pieces that come to us as they see fit, all of which really is a way of us creating a broad storyboard to write and weave the story of our life that we want for ourselves, not to receive one that somebody else has created and do it for them, but for us actually to be sovereign free beings. And so at this critical point, with this incredibly high intense energy that wants to purify, particularly with that moon wave spell, raising lots of the density into our awareness. It's at this point that the faulty aspect of the lower mind can come into vision, where we see that it's making leaps into conclusions that your divine mind can point out and say, but that's not actually the case. What's going on here? At which point there is a process that happens, a necessary process in order for us to become free sovereign beings and to perhaps refurbish, recondition, realign, or recalibrate the inner workings of our own quantum technology, the mind, which is a really amazing thing, but it's also prone to being hijacked through things like the matrix. However, it can be repurposed, right, Bella, into doing really the work of what our divine mind wants us to do here in 3D. It's a perfectly decent piece of technology. It just needs a little bit of a dust down, clean up, and maybe a little bit of a detox.
Mm-hmm. And many of you started with us this Tzolkin back in March on the first day with the dragon, with the magnetic dragon. We all went around the world at the same time to activate this Tzolkin. And this time we want to wrap it up again all together. So the second part of the invitation is to a full immersion with all of the tribe, where we're going to go into what we're calling the Stargate Opens.
Where time becomes art.
which is learning to be in that vibration for longer periods of time and to start creating your new life from that perspective, from the higher perspective. So you can do either one of them, or you can do the combo, which is what we're trying to do to wrap up this very important cycle of 260 days, which is a gestation process in itself, is a period of time that a whole human being takes to take form, to gestate, to be gestated. And also the corn takes 260 days for a full crop to develop. So this is showing us the way to realign with the cycles of the earth and nature, also with the 30 moons, which many of you are already following with us. But this time in the workshop, we're going to give you the different layers to attune yourself, and what are some of the best tips that we have been able to gather over the last few years on how to make a wavespell container effective for any process that you want to have.
Right, we anticipate the main bulk of that will probably be somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many layers we put in. But the idea is that no matter what you've done, whether it's with us or with somebody else, we're going to make it nice and clear to jump in with this eagle and to give the coordinates for that, but also to show how you can do this with any wavespell. Really with anything particularly, but with the 1320, you have, as Bella said, these 20 sort of preset energies or archetypes with which you can create your own unfolding flow. Each glyph has its own energetic coordinates that can create this incredibly rich weave that becomes your life. And so we have the eagle to do that. If we have a visual, it's kind of like the eagle taking off with the wind underneath its wings, flying high above us, ourselves, our own toroidal field, but also of the earth, and surveying everything and saying, hey, how's my new earth vision getting on down there? It's like, oh, wow, it looks great, but there's a few holes in the wall and the plumbing's not done and something else. And this is an opportunity to review how we set our intentions for that vision. Was it based more in the old Logos minds, the guides and rules of the matrix or the system, or was it really something from the freedom of our higher mind? The eagle will show us all of that, so that when the eagle comes back from its journey and starts to swoop down from the 5D perch back into the realms of samsara or 3D and 4D, it will bring all of this information with it, which is another way of saying that some aspect of you will be able to bring all of this information with you. And then for the star, we can really join all of the dots and do the as within, so without. You know, as above, so below is the eagle bringing it down. And then what's really important is that eagle within starts to express what it's observed in the form of beauty and art, because that's really the quality of the star to round out this Tzolkin, thus confirming that time really is art.
And this is the time to do this. It's a perfect opportunity to go into that vision quest, as I was saying. Once we finalize this Tzolkin, we go into the new process of starting a new one in December when Atlas is conjunct the Earth. So we want to have our bodies, energetic bodies, emotional body, our mental energy body as well, ready to receive and consolidate these new codes that are coming right now.
So just as a reminder how we set out on this journey at the beginning of this Tzolkin, we set a somewhat group intention, and certainly we did it personally, to arrive on the shores of New Earth. And during this last 9 months, really, or 260 days, we've done exactly that. We went through some really, really profound journeys, the Eye of the Storm, Expedition New Earth. We had various gatherings in different parts of the world, both energetically and physically, which has been amazing. And now we're at this point where the journey for that intention is coming to a close, and we get to play a little bit with this now. The eagle is a really beautiful frequency to be in for 13 days. It's really the one in the whole of the Tzolkin that allows us to go through this process, and for each one of us to become fully embodied sovereign beings, which is what the eagle really represents, that freedom of just taking off and seeing everything for exactly how it is. That's very much the frequency of the fifth dimension. It's non-dual. And if you want to know whether you're being non-dual or not, well, see how easily you get triggered into polarization. That will very quickly show you. And that's going to be one of the things that we'll be giving hints and tips on for this 13 days. If you do fall somewhat off the perch and not sure how to get back up, there are some techniques that are becoming much easier to use as the frequency of the planet and of the collective grid changes. And this is one of the other things that we'll be sharing in the Eagle Ascends, is how to anchor yourself into the Gaia grid, which has been steadily rebuilt, refurbished, and now activated across the planetary space with many new things coming online literally day by day, each one in accordance with, we can say, Atlas and probably many of the other comets, but most of all with our sun, all working in harmony with the collective human consciousness and Mother Earth.
This wave spell is also connected to the planetary grid. So this is a process on how to become a nodal point in the planetary grid and to anchor yourself to that higher frequency and hold that energy for the collective as well. So you get to do both, to have your individual vision and your collective vision, and to align your free will with divine will. This is part of what we're doing, aligning our mind with the divine mind. This is a way to move forward into the way of living in New Earth. Here, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you very much to everybody who is part of the membership. Thank you for your support. And you guys also get a special discount on all of the things, all of the products and ideas that we have here. So check that out. And thank you again.
Right, so just to wrap up, yes, as Bella said, there's that 20% discount for all of the Starseed Adept members. And of course, there are the daily mind glyph meditations that I will be continuing to do as usual throughout this Eagle Wavespell for those day-to-day coordinate points that will sync with everything that we're doing with the Eagle Ascends. And I think that's really it for now. As always, lots going on within the tribe. Quantum Compass will be coming out soon. And, you know, really with this opportunity with the star, this is where we get to speak to our own starseed intelligence inside of us. And the eagle is here to allow us to be able to attune to that. You know, the eagle sits at the top of the toroidal field of Mother Earth. It's really just beyond the planetary realm of samsara. And from that lofty position, we can also open up into the sixth dimensional Christed consciousness energy of Yeshua and Sophia. And from there, we can expand ever increasingly into the higher dimensions, all of which is a way for us to channel higher aspects of ourself, of collective oversouls, and indeed of creator itself. So really beautiful opportunity, everybody. Hope to see many of you who have never yet stepped into our tribe join us on this journey. Please always comment. We love to hear from everybody. If you have any questions, either email us directly or on the comment box. And, you know, if you like this video, please do hit like. And of course, if you're not subscribing already, that would be great. So that's really it from me and Bella for now. We look forward to seeing many of you very soon, either on a call or in the container for the Eagle Ascends or for the Stargate Opens. See you all very soon in Lakesh.